What?
Sorry, but I think we went to high school together.
At the same time?
Yeah, you're Mavis Gary?
Mavis Gary Crane now.
I'm Matt Freehoff. My locker was actually next to yours all through high school.
Matt. Freehoff, yeah.
How did you feel after reading the script for Young Adult for the very first time? What was your initial reaction?
I felt very excited, very intimidated after reading it for the first time because it was being offered to me, and it was a great script that I was afraid I would fumble the nuances, especially of the relationship between me and Charlize's character, between Mavis. But yeah, it was that kind of exhilaration and terror, basically.
So people are used to seeing you like in comedic roles, Community, King of Queens, Bored to Death, all these like very witty, clever roles. How did you prep for this role? I mean, it is comedic, but it's a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, for this movie, I'm very open about how I worked with a physical therapist on the walk and the leg and the crutch, and I worked with an acting coach, this woman Nancy Banks, who was she was amazing for figuring out, you know, exactly what kind of pain is this guy carrying, and even more so, how did this guy choose to let this trauma affect him? Because it does come down to he is choosing to live his life based on how this thing affected him. So what is he choosing to do here? And then how is that buried in everything he says and every movement he makes? So getting to work all that out really helped a lot. And then beyond all that, though, doing the scenes with Charlize, having her in character the way she was, and having her in some scenes not give me anything to work with, which is what Mavis would do, is Mavis just disconnects. And to make that choice as an actor, I know is very hard for someone like her to do. You don't want to be that unsympathetic, but she did it, and then that made my responses so much easier.
Buddy Slade and I are meant to be together, and I'm here to get him back.
I'm pretty sure he's married with a kid on the way.
No, kid's here. I'm cool with it. I mean, I've got baggage too.
I would keep all of this to yourself. I would find a therapist.
In the movie, obviously, Mavis goes back to her hometown, high school. She has a certain image. What were you like in high school? Were you in a particular clique?
I was in the, you know what I was? I was in the clique of class clowns. There, I get so annoyed when people say, were you the class clown? There's never a class clown. There's a whole group of us, and we all can recite Monty Python and SNL and, you know, Bill Cosby and Steve Martin routines, and we all kind of compete to be who's the funniest, which was great preparation for when I became a stand-up comedian later. So that was kind of the clique I was in, and we were all sort of, you know, we weren't not exactly ostracized, but, you know, we were all kind of in between every other clique, because we're like, well, they do know the
floaters.
Yeah, exactly. We're floaters, and it's like, well, these guys, they do know good fart jokes, so I guess we can kind of keep them around. We didn't run in the same circles. You were pretty popular, if I remember correctly. You won Best Hair.
Did I? What did you win?
I didn't. They usually give out like 15 of those, and only to like the same 5 people.
How is it like when you go back? Have you been back to your old high school?
Yeah. I've been back to both reunions, and they were really fun. Any chance you get, have you gone back to a high school reunion?
No. I'm from Texas, so.
Where in Texas?
I grew up mostly in San Antonio, and then I lived in Austin before I moved here.
Of course you lived in Austin.
Yeah.
That's like the airlock before you go to San Francisco to get you ready.
The delousing chamber.
Yeah, it is. Well, if you get a chance to go to a reunion, go to it, because what was really fun about going to mine was you see a lot of cliches about high school reunions get busted. In other words, our homecoming queen looks exactly the way she looked in high school and is now a surgeon. Is a practicing surgeon, so she's brilliant, and she looks like our homecoming queen. But then this other girl who was like the total party chick and was everyone's pot connection is now a complete born-again Christian. Of course she is.
Yes.
So like it was just cool to see, okay, that cliché's wrong, and that cliché's insanely accurate.
Appropriately, what young adult novels did you read when you were, I guess, in that age where, you know, young adult?
Well, I mean, all the Judy Blooms. I read all the Judy Blooms. I wouldn't call these young adult novels, but I mean, stuff like The Great Brain books, Encyclopedia Brown. There was just really cool. There was these two really cool books. One was called The Bully of Barkham Street, and one was called A Dog on Barkham Street. And when you read them separately, but one of them was from the point of view of the kid getting pounded by this bully, and the other one was from the point of view of the bully pounding on this kid.
Oh, okay.
And you saw that each of them had their own reasons for doing what they did, and it was such a great, two books for it. It early on taught you, like, hey, sometimes people are mean because their lives suck, and you're not the target. Like, they were so helpful to have those books growing up. Oh, and also anything by Daniel Pinkwater,
Okay.
So.
Excellent.